everyone, in this video, I wanted to talk about what you should do if your dog or puppy keeps trying to bite your feet constantly. So stay tuned. For the best dog training and product advice, be sure to hit subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa. I am a certified professional dog trainer, and I have helped hundreds and hundreds of pups and their parents live more peaceful lives together. All right, so let's get into why your pup would possibly want to keep biting your feet and how we can stop it. So the first step is to identify why they are trying to go after your feet. In fact, with any problem behavior that we don't like, it's always important to first identify why they are performing the behavior. Now, there are a large variety of reasons why they can, but with puppies biting feet, it's typically one, that they're bored, two, they want to chase something, so it's their way of playing. And the third reason is over-arousal. So over-arousal means that your dog or puppy is just past the point of learning. They are just so excited, so amped up. I like to compare it to a toddler at Disneyland. At the end of the day, you'll see a lot of toddlers have a lot of fits because they just had so much excitement during the day. They're trying to stay awake, but really they just need to sleep. And so that results in a tantrum. Now, same with our dogs and puppies. If they're trying to stay awake, even though they're really tired, it can result in this over-aroused state where they are just going bonkers and they don't really listen to anything that you say. All right, so those are kind of like the main reasons why a dog or puppy would start biting your feet. So let's get into what you should do for each of them. So I'm gonna start with if your dog or puppy just wants to play. So if they wanna play, I would just try to redirect to something more appropriate, like a toy or a game of fetch. Now, if you're too busy at the moment to do that, like let's say you're about to hop on a Zoom call with your boss and you don't have time to play fetch, I would just grab something else for them to do, like get a frozen Kong out of the fridge. There are a ton of Kong recipes if you Google them, and really great ways to get creative. Another option is a licky mat, and I actually have a whole video on how to keep your pup busy during Zoom calls. This would apply with any time that you really don't have time to entertain your pup, and I'll link to that in the cards up above. Now, if you've identified that your dog or puppy is biting because they're probably just bored, I would try to up the mental stimulation. So same thing, Kong, licky mats, puzzle toys, snuffle mats, all things that you can do to keep your pup entertained. Another thing you might want to consider is more sniff and stroll walks. So putting your pup on a long line leash, allowing them to sniff, because that's really good mental stimulation. And make sure that you're walking your dog. Now, with a young puppy, you want to make sure it's age appropriate exercise. And this is something that you'll want to discuss with your vet. How much exercise is appropriate for your specific puppy? In my new puppy survival guide, I have a general chart that I typically go with, but of course, every dog and puppy is different. So that's something you'll definitely want to discuss with your vet. Now, last but not least is the over-arousal, overstimulation. And this is probably the most common reason of why your pup is biting your feet. So biting feet is really exciting. It's kind of like chasing animals, right? Like your feet move, especially as your pup bites you probably walk faster. So it makes it into even more of a game. So if your pup is over that threshold of really even listening to you at all I'm gonna do is pick up my pup or grab my dog and put them away in another room, in a crate. And it's not in a punishing way. It's just like, okay, you just need to go to sleep now, go rest. Because at that point, there's not really any training happening. They're in that part of their brain where they're just not really going to learn anything. I like to compare it to if you have a panic attack, you're in that part of the brain. Some people call it the reptilian brain. So rather than trying to say no or teach your dog anything in that state, I just like to put them away. Now, when you do have time to train, I do recommend doing some impulse control training. My favorite way of doing impulse control training is to teach a solid stay. Another way to do some impulse control training is with a flirt pole. So once you've advanced your pup's stay, you can add a flirt pole and kind of start to wave it around, and that kind of mimics the feet moving around, but you'll want to take it slow, break it down step by step. And I talk about this a lot more in my free webinar webinar, 5 biggest training mistakes and how to avoid them. I break down some of the most common mistakes, and one of the most common ones is not breaking things down small enough, just saying, oh, my dog doesn't understand how to do this outside, versus trying to break it down into small bite-sized pieces that they can really comprehend. Now, if you still have questions after watching, you can always join my Possum Parents Facebook group. I'm in there answering your questions, as well as other people are answering your questions. I also do a live video every week, and this video was actually inspired by a question in that group. You can also comment below. It helps out my channel a lot. Be sure to like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.